Internet, Andre here, representing DreamCloud project. Today I'm going to show you my Mythic Dragon deck profile. It's a deck that I really enjoy using, been having a lot of success with it. I use this kind of cool plant combo variant that catches a lot of people off guard, and the deck's just really good. Dragon Rulers are still very much a problem right now. Velgrand is one of the best XYZs in my opinion, so I guess we can get straight to it. Alright, so first we're going to start off with the monsters. I'm doing 2 Mythic Tree Dragon. He is very much a combo card. The main thought process is to use it with Mythic Water Dragon. I don't run 3 because I have some other targets for Water Dragon, so I don't want it to get cloggy, especially since he can't do much by himself. Also tandems with Tidal. So at least he has 2 options, but a really good card when the combo goes off. And the next card is basically its sister card. So this is the Mythic Water Dragon. So how it works is you summon Mythic Tree Dragon, you special summon Mythic Water Dragon. You can special summon the Water Dragon if you have an Earth on board. So really good. I guess people see it coming with the tree play, but with the next play a lot of people do not see it coming, and that's why I really like this deck. I'm running 2 Beast King Barbaros. So it's a normal summon earth monster. It goes down to 19. People just assume you're just trying to get a decent little beater on board. So I summon that, special summon the water. It really catches people off guard. It's also a level 8, and I run trade-in, so I like him for that as well. Next up we have Debris Dragon. Let's say it's Debris, great card. If you're running dragons, you gotta run them. If you're running plants, you gotta run them. And I happen to be running both. So, 2 Lonefire, the best plant card, in my opinion. Lonefire turns into any plant that you want it to turn into, basically. Awesome card, love it at 2. I've always been a plant guy, so definitely gotta run it. Then, of course, we have the other part of the plant engine, Dandy and Spore. Great cards, not much more to be said about that, especially if you have the Debris Dragon in the deck. And for the big beaters of the plants, I'm running the princesses, or 3 of them at least. Titanial, the classic, really good, stops targeting. I have Talia. She's probably the least valuable one in this deck. She comes out at 2900, which is pretty good, so sometimes, since 28 is a really popular like attack level, there's those few cards that you just have to get over. So she's good for that. But I mainly like her because 1, she can be brought out by the other plants. 2, she's a level 8 as well. And she's a water. So for Tidal, you can pitch her in Tidal, get Tidal's effect. But the main one is this one right here. This is a really good card right here, the Princess of Autumn Leaves. Basically, I Lonefire into this. If they destroy it by any means, you can special summon a plant from the deck. So it's got 28 defense. People gotta get around that first, and if they do get around it, then you're bringing out Titanial. It's kind of like a lot to handle. It catches a lot of people off guard, especially if they see an earlier dragon play. They're definitely not expecting that. What also makes this deck combo very well and have a lot of synergy is this: 2 Blue Rose Dragons. So, Blue Rose, 1, it is a dragon. So when it's in the grave, you can banish it for the Dragon Rulers, which is awesome. But the main issue is it brings out a plant. It's better than Lord Poison because Lord Poison has to be destroyed by battle. This is just if it's destroyed at all, period, then you can special summon a plant from the grave. So it's awesome. Say they get around the 2 princesses, summon Blue Rose, make them get around that. You can get destroyed, bring out the Titanial, and then you can banish it for a dragon. So has a lot of synergy. Doesn't get played much, but in a deck that runs plants and dragons, it's actually the perfect card, and it really catches people off guard. Saves my butt a lot. Running 1 of the Flamevale guards. Gotta run it if you're running Dragon Rulers, but it's pretty nice. You can sync up into 8s oftentimes. And then of course, here are the Dragon Rulers themselves. Not much to be said about them. They're awesome. When they were at 3, they were broken. I didn't run them at 3 when they were run because I don't like the meta. I like to beat the meta with tier 2s and make people feel pretty silly about themselves. But these guys are just awesome. Alrighty. Now on to the spells. Running the Sacred Swords. Some people don't like it because they don't like getting rid of their dragon rulers. I personally love plus ones. Sorry. So love the card and need draw power. Sometimes you just need a few other options, and since this card has synergy for a lot of different things, one or two more extra cards, you never know what that's going to do for you. But since you do lose a dragon, I like to run Burial. Really good. We don't have return anymore, so if I Sacred Sword something, or if I use the dragons to bring out one of the other dragons, always good to have that. Gold Sark, just a must with dragon rulers. What's cool with this is, say you have one of the Mythic Dragons but not the other, and you have Gold Sark, then you Gold Sark for whichever the other attribute is. So you can Gold Sark Redox, bring out the Tree Dragon, and then you use the water if you have the Tree Dragon already. You know, Gold Sark Tidal, bring out the Water Dragon, and then go into your Felgrand play. So, really, really good card. I run 2 trade-in. If you notice, I run a lot of 8s. The Mythic Waters are 8s. Beast King Barbaros, all the plant princesses. So I have a lot of targets, and the plants, I don't want to have them in my hand. So this is a good way to solve that issue. Have a couple big plants clogging the hand, I can trade them in, or if I happen to have a dragon, then I can also ditch them for the dragon effects, so they're usually not dead that much. Book of Moon, phenomenal card, which goes back to 3, having way too much fun when it was at 3. Dark Hole, another staple, and of course the 3 MSTs. Only a couple cards that really hurt the deck, and those are spells and traps. Necro Valley, Imperial Iron Wall, so gotta run it at 3. If you're running dragons, you're running 3 MSTs. For my traps, I'm running the Phoenix Wing Wind Blast. It just gets rid of problems. Can stall them for a turn if it's not a chainable card, but yeah, like sometimes you just really need a card or 2 off the field. And also I like it because it helps unclog the hand. If I have one of the big plants, or if I have a dragon that I can ditch and then also still use the dragon effects to come out, kind of helps me take advantage without losing card advantage. So a really good card. Running 2 of the Deep Prison. Just always good to banish. There's so many cards that stop the destruction nowadays that I like banishing. Not much more to say about that. 2 Fiendish Chain. As you saw, I don't run any Effect Veiler, so gotta stop monster effects sometimes. Gotta stop the XYZ effects, and no better way to do it than that. And then the other staples, you got the Mirror Force, got the Solemn Warning, the E-Back, and the Bottomless Trap Hole. So that does it for the main deck. Next we will get to the extra deck and to the big main beast that is Felgrand. I'm running 2 of those. This guy is a problem. 2800, he's an Effect Veiler stop, so he can stop basically anyone on the other side of the field if they're trying to go off. Use it on them, but the other part of his effect is really cool too, because whatever got their effect taken off, it also protects them from any other card effects. So if they Dark Hole, Mirror Force your guys, you can use his effect on your own cards and protect them. So he's really hard to get around, and this deck makes him really easily. Whether it's the 2 Mythic Dragons, or if it's Beast King Barbaros and the water, you can even do 2 plants if you are just running a lot of plants at that point and bring them both out, then you can even do that. This is something that catches a lot of people off guard. I run 2 number 46s. So it can only be brought out with the level 8 dragons, so that's only going to be both of the mythic guys. But what he's good for is he can take your opponent's dragon. Usually that's going to be Star Eater or Scrap, but a lot of people don't see it. Once they get Star Eater on the field, they think they're set. They're like thinking, okay, either he has Compulse or he's screwed. And you can just go into that and take their Star Eater, and you should really see the look on their faces when that happens. So he's really good for that. Also, he's a 3000 beat stick. Most of the time I'll bring them out if it's early game and they have a lot of back rows like game 2. And I'm basically just trying to fish out the bottomless. So he's good for that. Next is the Silent Honor Arc. Great level 4. Pretty easy to bring out. Usually I'll do it with the Breeze and the Mythic Tree that's in the graveyard. Go into that, take what they have. Awesome. Of course, if you're running Dragon Rulers or anything that makes 7s pretty easily, you gotta run the Big Eye and you gotta run the Dracossack. This is supposed to be Dracossack. My friend is borrowing mine at the moment, and since actual tournaments are more important than deck profiles, I let him have it. But yeah, Big Eye, Dracossack, Staples, and anything that makes 7s. Really good cards. For the Synchros themselves, running Formula Synchron. If you're running Plant Engine or anything with tokens, gotta run it, +1. Also, if you're running like Dandy, tokens, stuff like that, you gotta run a level 4. I'm not really that big on Army Arm right now, so I've just been going with the Balmung. I mean, he's a 21 beat stick. His effect's okay, but at this point, I haven't found much more use for Army Arm, so I'm going with him. Cataster is another one that I don't use that often, but whenever I take him out of the extra deck, I just always run into something where I'm like, man, if I just had Cataster, I would win, and he's not in the extra deck, so I have to leave him in, even though I don't use him that much. I use Orient Dragon, because I do run the Breeze. You can only go into dragons, and so don't really go into 6s, I almost never do, but if I do, it's going to be the Breeze, so I use Orient Dragon. Black Rose, because it's Black Rose, he's awesome. Cool thing is the Blue Rose Dragon can actually bring back Black Rose Dragon. So, very situational. You'll usually get the Titanial out or the other princesses, but that's a cool little trick that I thought I should mention. And then other staples, Scrap Dragon, Stardust, and they're dragons as well, so they go well with the Dragon Rulers. And the last one is that big, beefy Star Eater. So there you have it. That's the deck in a nutshell. As you can see, it has a lot of options. There's a lot of outs for the deck. You can just run the whole dragon thing, bring out Felgran. You can just summon Lonefire, do the whole plant engine. Causes a lot of problems, and it's really hard for people to kind of gauge what you're doing when they see the dragons or see the Gold Sark. They kind of know what's going on, and then all of a sudden you summon Lonefire and do that whole thing. So I've been having a lot of fun with it. Pretty dope. I hope you guys check it out, give it a try. Fairly cheap to make right now, especially if you're not trying to run just tier 1 and do the boring thing that everyone else does. So yeah, definitely give it a try. Thank you for watching. As always, please like, subscribe, place comments down below. We're always happy to hear suggestions, other thoughts on builds, improvements that we can do. And if you guys are interested in what DreamCloud Project does as far as clothing, hit up the website. There's a lot of cool stuff, and we're always adding more content pretty much weekly. So yeah, thanks again, and see you at the next video.